Did you know that nearly 80% of people in their 20s and 30s make at least one major financial mistake that impacts their future? That's right. Today, we're talking about something that affects every one of us: how to manage our money wisely, especially during our 20s and 30s. These years are pivotal because the financial decisions we make now can shape the rest of our lives. But here's the catch. Many of us don't learn about money management until after we've made some costly mistakes. Whether it's spending too much, not saving enough, or neglecting to invest early, these missteps can have a lasting impact on our financial future. So today, we are diving deep into the top 10 money mistakes to avoid in your 20s and 30s, and how to set yourself up for long-term financial success. So why is this topic so important? Well, many people in their 20s and 30s find themselves caught in the cycle of financial mistakes. And the problem is that these errors can be hard to undo. Think about it. If you start your career by overspending, accumulating debt, or ignoring savings, the snowball effect can be massive. By the time you're in your 30s, you could be dealing with financial insecurity, unmanageable debt, or missed opportunities to invest for your future. But here's the catch. Most of these problems are preventable. The challenge is that we often lack financial literacy early on, and we're left to figure things out as we go. We live in a world where the pressure to keep up with others can make us lose sight of our financial health. And we're also often distracted by short-term desires instead of focusing on long-term goals. So how do we break the cycle? How do we make smarter financial choices so that we're not stuck with regret later on? That's what today's video is all about. Showing you the money mistakes that can hold you back and giving you the tools to avoid them. Let's jump into the first mistake that many people make. Mistake 1. Failing to create a budget. Let's start with mistake number 1. Failing to create a budget. Now, I know the word budget can sound boring or restrictive, but think of a budget as your financial blueprint. It's not about cutting out your favorite coffee or never going out to eat. It's about understanding where your money is going. A budget helps you prioritize your spending and align it with your goals. Let me give you an example. Imagine you earn $3,000 a month, but at the end of the month, you have no idea where it all went. That's where a budget steps in. You allocate specific amounts for rent, groceries, savings, and yes, even fun. Apps like Mint or YNAB make it so easy to track your income and expenses. Once you see the numbers, you might realize you're spending $200 a month on takeout when you could redirect that to an emergency fund or savings. So step 1 is simple. Sit down, write it out, or use an app. But give every dollar a job. A budget doesn't limit your freedom. It creates it by giving you control over your money. And speaking of control, let's talk about one area where lack of planning can quickly spiral into chaos: emergencies. Mistake 2. Ignoring emergency funds. Mistake number 2 is ignoring emergency funds. Picture this. You're driving to work and suddenly your car breaks down, or you get hit with an unexpected medical bill. What do? Without an emergency fund, most people turn to credit cards, sinking themselves into debt. An emergency fund is your financial safety net. Experts recommend saving 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. If that sounds overwhelming, start small. Maybe aim for $500 or $1,000 as a short-term goal. The key is consistency. Set up automatic transfers into a separate savings account every payday, even if it's just $20. It's not about how fast you build it, but that you start building it. And trust me, when the unexpected happens, and it will, you'll thank yourself for having that cushion. Now, while an emergency fund is about preparing for the unexpected, our next mistake is all about avoiding a financial trap that's hiding in plain sight. Mistake 3. Relying on credit cards for everyday expenses. Credit cards are a powerful tool when used wisely, but they can quickly become a financial nightmare if mismanaged. Here's the problem. It's so easy to swipe a card without feeling the immediate financial impact. You grab lunch here, buy a new gadget there, and before you know it, your balance is through the roof. The kicker? If you're only making minimum payments, you're drowning in interest, not chipping away at the actual debt. The solution? First, treat your credit card like cash. If you can't pay it off in full each month, don't use it for non-essential purchases. Second, track your spending. Many credit card companies offer tools to categorize your expenses so you can see where your money is going. Credit can be your best friend or your worst enemy. It's all about how you use it. But credit cards aren't the only area where young people fall short. One of the biggest regrets I hear from people later in life: wishing they had started this next habit earlier. Mistake 4. Not investing early. Here's the thing. Time is your biggest ally when it comes to building wealth. Thanks to compound interest, even small investments made in your 20s can grow into a significant nest egg by retirement. Let's break it down. Say you invest $200 a month starting at age 25, earning an average return of 7% annually. By the time you're 65, that small monthly contribution will have grown to over $500,000. Now, if you wait until you're 35 to start, you'll end up with less than half of that. I get it. Investing can feel intimidating, especially if you're new to it. But you don't have to be an expert. Start simple. If your job offers 401k, contribute enough to get the company match. It's essentially free money. If not, look into a Roth IRA or low-cost index funds. The earlier you start, the less you'll have to invest over time to reach the same goals. Remember, when it comes to investing, the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. Now, as you start earning more and thinking about investments, there's a sneaky mistake many people make that can undo all their progress. Mistake 5. Lifestyle inflation. As your income increases, it's tempting to upgrade everything. Nicer car, bigger apartment, more expensive gadgets, and so on. But here's the thing. This can lead to living paycheck to paycheck, even with a higher income. The problem is, many people confuse income growth with the freedom to spend more. The truth is, if you're not careful, your lifestyle can inflate just as quickly as your paycheck. Let's say you get a raise, and the first thing you do is buy a luxury car or move into a bigger apartment. While it may feel like a reward, you're just adding financial pressure, often without realizing it. Instead, take a different approach. When you get a raise or bonus, don't immediately increase your expenses. Think about putting that extra income into savings or investing. You could even earmark for specific financial goals, like paying off debt or increasing your emergency fund. The goal isn't to deprive yourself, but to find balance and financial stability as you grow. While controlling your lifestyle is key, there's another financial pitfall that can hit especially hard in your 20s: debt. And unfortunately, the next mistake on our list is all about it. Mistake 6. Neglecting student loans and debt management. If you're like many people, you've probably got student loans to manage, and trust me, you're not alone. However, ignoring or procrastinating on paying off that debt can cause major financial headaches in the future. The reality is that student loans often come with high interest rates, and delaying payments or sticking to minimum payments can cause the balance to balloon over time. The sooner you tackle that debt, the less you'll pay in the long run. Here's a strategy. First, understand your loan terms, whether you're on a fixed or variable rate. If your rate is high, consider refinancing. Another tip is to set up an income-driven repayment plan if you're struggling. But most importantly, don't bury your head in the sand. The more proactive you are with your loans, the quicker you'll be able to free up money for other financial goals. Now, while student loans are a common debt issue, there's a far-reaching financial mistake many people make when they don't take the time to think about their future. This next mistake could leave you unprepared for what's ahead. Mistake 7. Failing to understand your financial goals. Do you have clear financial goals in mind? Are you saving for a home, a car, a vacation, retirement? If you haven't defined these goals, it's hard to know where to start. Without a clear financial vision, it's easy to fall into bad spending habits. You might be putting money into savings or investments, but if you don't have a clear purpose for it, you'll lack the motivation to stick with it. Take the time to sit down and assess what you want financially in the next year, 5 years, and even 20 years. Whether it's saving for a down payment on a house or preparing for retirement, setting specific goals will help you stay focused and disciplined. Break down those long-term goals into smaller, actionable steps, like setting up automatic transfers or researching investment options. With clarity, you'll be able to prioritize where your money should go. While setting financial goals is essential for progress, there's another often overlooked mistake that can put your financial security at risk, especially if you're young and healthy. Mistake 8. Skipping insurance. I get it. Insurance is one of those expenses that feels unnecessary when you're young and healthy. But if something unexpected happens, whether it's a car accident, a health issue, or damage to your home, being uninsured can leave you financially exposed. Let's take health insurance, for example. Medical bills can add up fast, and without insurance, you're left to foot the entire bill yourself. The same goes for car insurance, renter's insurance, or even life insurance if you have dependents. When you're young, it's easy to underestimate the need for insurance, but the truth is, it can save you thousands, or even hundreds of thousands down the line. So take the time to evaluate your insurance needs, shop around for the best rates, and don't skimp on coverage. Being underinsured can lead to financial ruin if something goes wrong. While having insurance protects you from the unexpected, there's another financial habit that can lead you down a dangerous path, making decisions based on what others are doing, rather than what's right for you. Mistake 9. Following the crowd. This mistake is all too common, whether it's investing in the latest trendy stock or buying the newest gadget just because everyone else has it. The problem with following the crowd is that financial decisions should be personal and based on your own circumstances, not the latest hype. Think about social media and how it glorifies instant success, whether it's people showing off their luxury cars or posting about their latest investment gains. But here's the truth. Financial success doesn't happen overnight. Real wealth is built over time, and it's important to research, plan, and invest in things that align with your financial goals, not someone else's. So instead of jumping on the bandwagon, focus on your own strategy. Do your own research, whether that's about investing or making major purchases. The best financial decisions are the ones that fit your unique situation. And finally, there's one last mistake we need to talk about. A mistake that most people tend to ignore, thinking it's far off in the future. But let me tell you, it's never too early to start planning for this. Mistake 10. Not planning for retirement. You might be thinking, I'm young. Retirement is so far away. But the reality is, the earlier you start, the better off you'll be. Time is your greatest asset when saving for retirement, and the earlier you start contributing, the less you'll have to save later on. Take advantage of employer-sponsored plans like 401ks, especially if your employer offers a match. That's essentially free money. And if you don't have access to a 401k, look into individual retirement accounts, IRAs. Even if you can only contribute a small amount each month, it adds up over time. The key is consistency. Don't wait until you're 40 or 50 to think about retirement. Start today, even if it's just a small contribution. The earlier you begin, the more time your money has to grow and compound. To wrap up, avoiding these 10 financial mistakes in your 20s and 30s is key to building a strong financial foundation for your future. By creating a budget, saving for emergencies, investing wisely, and planning for retirement, you can set yourself up for success in your 20s and 30s. Take control of your financial journey today and pave the way for a prosperous tomorrow. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Share your thoughts in the comments below about which financial mistake resonated with you, and check out our other videos for more insights.